Hey guys, it's me. Today I'm here to talk about all the movies I watched in December. Also, I need my glasses for this. I apologize. Basically, what we're doing is I have a new laptop in case you will notice in a few minutes. That's because my old one broke down, which is why you only got one video last week. But it's also I getting 3 videos this week to make up for it. So I hope you enjoy. I watched quite a few movies in December. They're all Christmas movie or holiday movies because that's just what I was in the mood to watch in December, and I'm quite excited to talk to you about them all. So let's do that. Okay, so the first movie I watched in December is Happiest season, which came out in 2020, which I gave 4 out of 5 stars to. A young woman's plan to propose to a girlfriend while at her family's annual holiday party are upended when she discovers her partner hasn't yet come out to her conservative parents. So basically, this was very hyped when it came out last year because it is a lesbian holiday rom-com, which isn't something we get often. So I totally understand the hype behind it, but I didn't check it out last year because I don't think I watched that many movies last year, and again this year didn't really watch as many holiday movies as I planned, but still. So when starting my holiday movie watching this month, I just had to start with this one, and I actually really liked it. I don't really get the critiques of it though. I forgot character names, but Kristen Stewart's character, her girlfriend, not the best girlfriend in the world. And again, it's a lot of queer story that focuses on coming out in a way. So those are all critiques I definitely understand. But I overall still had a really good time with this one and thought it was a lot of fun. I really loved Kristen Stewart's character. I loved Audrey Plaza's character, everyone. And I believe that we got a kind of confirmation that we're getting a spin-off movie that focuses on Audrey, but I'm Audrey Plaza's character. I'm not sure about that though, so you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that is a thing. So yeah, it's a fun holiday rom-com with a lot of holiday cheese, and I don't know, I liked it. It's not a new favorite, hence the 4 out of 5 stars. Then the next movie I watched is the Claus Family, which came in 2020 as well. I give 2 out of 5 stars to. When his grandfather suddenly falls ill, holiday-hating Jules learns of his family magical legacy and realizes he's the only hope to save Christmas. This one I mainly watch because my mom has been meaning to watch it. Again, I don't know how it is done internationally really, but it is a Belgian movie. There was a lot of hype around it last year when it came out here in Belgium because it was such a high production for Belgian standards, and Christmas movie and stuff. It's just something that hasn't really been done before in Belgium on this scale. So it was a big deal, and my mom has been interested in it. And when I was watching Christmas movies for the month of December, she really wanted to watch it, and I mean it's fine. Like I said, it is different for the way it was produced for Belgian standards, but the story is super cliche, and there's nothing of new value in it, even when it comes comparable to other Belgian Christmas movies that might have had a lower budget. But it's still a very cliche Christmas story, and I feel it doesn't necessarily do much new or interesting. There was also this storyline as well, the kid's mom, she works a cookie factory, and there's a storyline around that, and I hate it as storyline. It just doesn't make sense at all. So I just wish that was left out. But yeah, it still has, because it is so cliche, it still has you it has the heartwarming moments, it has the cliche moments and stuff. So it isn't I hated this, but also it's a 3-star. It felt very middle of the road because it felt like a movie I've seen time and time again. Then I watched Good Luck Charlie, It's Christmas, which came out in 2011. I gave 4 out of 5 stars to it, and was a rewatch. So I copy pasted the letterbox description, and I don't know, reading it doesn't describe the movie well at all and goes into spoilers, so let's skip that. Basically, the description I will give to you is, Good Luck Charlie, probably from the Disney Channel, the show. This is a movie set in Christmas time where the Duncan family are going to celebrate Christmas with Amy's family in Palm Springs, and stuff happen, and Amy and Teddy are separated from the rest of the family, and then Amy and Teddy have to hitchhike to Palm Springs while the rest of the family is there and is having trouble as what's his name? Bob like doesn't really get along with his in-laws, and there's like some conflict around that as well. So that's the movie, and I watched it when it originally came out because this was prime Disney Channel watching for me. This was like me and my prime still like watching Disney Channel. I love Good Luck Charlie. I also watched this movie, and I've been rewatching Wizards of Waverly Place, and like well, I was at this point in the month, I was at the part where Juliet first gets introduced, which is the same actress as Teddy in Good Luck Charlie, in case you don't know. So that made me really want to watch this movie. So I did, and I surprisingly had a good time with it. 2 years ago for Halloween, so not in 2021 but in 2020, for Halloween I watched a bunch of Halloween DComs, and ones I remember loving as a kid, like didn't really do it for me anymore, so I was a bit scared going into this one, but I still like had a great time with this movie. It's not perfect, I have some issues with it, but it is fun. It's also a fun road trip movie. It's a fun Christmas movie, and I also feel like a lot of like small things, like for example there's like this game that Gabe is playing throughout the movie, and like gets brought up a couple of times, and it like ends up playing a big part into something that happens at the end of the movie. And there's like a bunch of things like that where it's just like small things that end up playing a big part in like the like big conflict, I guess, like the big resolution of the movie. And I really like when stuff like that are done, where just like small things that were mentioned by characters end up like having a bigger purpose to what eventually the like resolution ends up being. I like how that was done. I really love these characters, so I think like Good Luck Charlie has risen up among like my Disney shows rewatch lists a little bit higher because I had a lot of fun with this movie. Next movie I watched is Single All the Way, which came out in 2021, which I gave 2 to 5 stars to. Desperate to avoid his family's judgment about his perpetual single status, Peter convinces his best friend Nick to join him for the holidays and pretend that they are now in a relationship. But when Peter's mother sets him up on a blind date with a handsome trained James, the plan goes awry. I was so excited with this movie because it's not just a gay Christmas rom-com, it also has fake dating and friends to lovers, which my typical perfect match of tropes. Is disappointed because like it didn't deliver on the fake dating at all. That premise was dropped 5 minutes into them joining the family, which was very disappointing. Like so disappointing. But then for the rest, I also just like didn't really buy the romance between Peter and Nick, because we're constantly told by other characters that they are made for each other, they're so obviously in love, but I feel like we never get to see that chemistry between these characters, and then having all the side characters just like keep droning on and on and on about that just felt very annoying. Like just show me the chemistry between these two instead of telling me that they have chemistry. That would make this so much better, but they didn't do that. So now I'm disappointed and I wish this was better. The next movie I watched and also didn't like is Last Christmas, which comes out in 2019, and I give 2 to 5 stars to. It is a young woman who has a habit of making bad decisions, and her last date with disaster occurs after she accepts work as Santa's elf for a department store. However, after she meets Tom there, her life takes a new turn. Here's the thing, I saw the trailer for this when it originally dropped and I was interested in, but I also remember thinking like, okay, I know where this movie is gonna go, because the trailer just like gave it all away, like genuinely. But I was interested in it, and I didn't get around to watching it until now because it wasn't on TV one night, so I watched it. I wasn't a fan of it. I expected to like this more, even if I knew what the end result was gonna be, but I feel like the main character was too unlikable. Like I do really like a unlikable character like changing their ways to like become more likable. I understand that, but I feel like just, I don't know, I just didn't really connect with this character that much, and I feel like that's because she is kept in like the unlikable point until like the very end where she starts to change. And I feel like if that change started like a little bit earlier, I would have liked it more. Eventually like the plot twists, I mean, I saw coming because the trailer spoiled it, but like it didn't explicitly like spoil it, but like just the way like the trailer was edited in a way, you could tell where the direction was going to go in. But I didn't like it. There was a lot of things that just like didn't make sense because of it, and I feel like they never did a proper job at explaining those things. They were just like, okay, but how did this happen if this is the actual thing? I did say this spoilers as well. So yeah, I didn't really like it that much. Moving on to The Love Heart, which came out in 2021. I gave 4 to 5 stars to. An LA girl unlucky in love falls for an East Coast guy on a dating app and decides to surprise him for Christmas, only to discover that she's been catfished. But but the object of her affection actually lives in the same town, and the guy who dupes her offers to set them up if she pretends to be his own girlfriend for the holidays. So Netflix has an obsession with catfish stories. We know that. No, we don't. We have Sarah Burgess as a loser, which I hated. Then we have now this one, which is another catfish love story. And I really like this one. I like how this was done. I feel like why it was done so well is that it reveals very early on that we are in a catfish situation, and then the entire movie is about like trying to like rectify it in a way. And it actually has these two people like getting to know each other, falling for each other, which Sarah Burgess doesn't do. So I really like that. And then on top of that, we also just have the part where even Nina Dobre's character, who was the one getting catfish, she also does like very questionable things in this movie, and like has to like apologize for those things as well, which I really liked it. I thought that the catfish situation in this was really well done. I also just really liked the movie. I thought there was a cute romance. Moving on, last movie of December, also my last movie of every single year ever, and that's The Muppet Christmas Carol, which came out in 1992, which I gave 5 out of 5 stars to. Was a rewatch, a retelling of the classic Dickens tale of Ebenezer Scrooge, miser extraordinaire. He is held accountable for his dastardly ways during nighttime visitations by the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future. I'm having trouble speaking today, I apologize. Muppet Christmas Carol, in case you don't know, is my favorite movie of all time. Not just my favorite Christmas movie, my favorite movie of all time. I've been obsessed with this since I was a kid. I like rewatch it every Christmas Eve. I try. Sometimes it's a little bit later. Typically, I aim for Christmas Eve. Because, you know, it takes place on Christmas Eve mainly. And it's always the last movie of the year. I don't know why, but like the last week of the year, I almost never end up watching anything else. Never intentionally. But yeah, I love it. Everything about it is so great. And every single time I watch it, I find new things that I love. Which you would think that I have watched this so many times. I would know this by heart. I do. I know a lot of parts by heart. But like every time I just discover something new in it that I absolutely adore. And that won't change. This movie just like makes me happy from beginning to ending. It's a perfect retelling of the story, because a few years ago I also read the Christmas Carol for the first time, and this is such a faithful adaptation, and it does it so well. I feel like it blends the lightheartedness with like the darkness really well. I love the songs. I love the Muppets. I feel like every Muppet was cast like perfectly in like their roles. I don't know if that makes sense. And yeah, I adore this movie. What else do you want to know? And yeah, that was it for today. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments section below which movies you watched in the month of December, as well as what you thought of these movies. I've already been watching a lot of movies in January, so be ready for that video. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. Good.
Here I am again, the same old situation. Why does the God thing have to be so complicated? Should